Hi guys, welcome back to Tea from the Galaxy, a thirst-quenching podcast for the girls, gays, theys, and astrology baes, where we talk about everything and anything through an astrological lens. I just finished the Ultimatum, Queer Love, last night. You already know, guys, I had to get into it. Shout out to Queer Astrology on Instagram for dropping all of these people's birth charts, because as soon as I got my hands on that, I was like, oh, I need to do an episode on this. Anytime I'm watching a reality TV show, which I am a reality TV show whore, I always need to pull up the birth charts. So anytime an Instagram account already got the birth chart up for me already, I love you. Let's break it down from an astrologer's perspective. Let's spill all the tea here. So first couple I have AJ and BRITNEY. AJ is a Libra sun, Aries moon. We don't have the rising, Libra, Mercury, Scorpio, Venus, Leo, Mars. BRITNEY is a Virgo sun, Scorpio moon. We don't have the rising, but Virgo, Mercury, Leo, Venus, and Leo, Mars. So the first thing that I noticed about this in woman loving woman relationships is Libra and Leo love each other. This is because they both kind of like the finer things in life, and they give each other mutual love and adoration. Very important for Libra and Leo placements in general, but it's something about Leo and Libra synastry between two women in a romantic relationship that feels so good, because this type of adoration that these people need, the words of affirmation, they love a nice smooth talker, looking at you like you are a princess, you are my queen, you know, like they love that type of love and being treated like that. Libra understands that about Leo because Libra is like that, and Leo understands that about Libra because Libra is like that. Who understands how to give that love better than a woman? And Libra and Leo, they also make a sextile with each other, and in astrology, a sextile is a harmonious aspect between two planets. Fire and air goes together, water and earth flows very seamlessly together. Another thing that I noticed as well, I do like their synastry, and I think there is potential for a long-term partnership. And if I'm being honest, I really think they use this show as an opportunity. BRITNEY has her own business. It seems like it's a newer business. I think this was a perfect opportunity to come on a Netflix show and kind of, now your business is going to be promoted, because I really don't think their relationship had really bad problems. From the jump, AJ was not giving. I knew the queer community was going to eat her up, because this girl was flirting with anybody and everybody, and that is literally Libra, air sign. They're good flirts. They're good. They know how to make people feel good. How they talk is very charming. Libra is like the princess, is the Prince Charming of the Zodiac, especially she has a Libra Mercury as well. And Mercury is how you communicate. Smooth talker, off rip. AJ also mentioned something about how she was an army brat. So she grew up needing to almost be like a chameleon and needing to adapt to different types of environments all the time. And I literally saw that with how she dated every single person. Like, she was able to make every single person feel good. She was able to have conversations with every single person. And those are just really big air signs things. Like, that just comes very naturally to air sign people. Versus BRITNEY doesn't have any air in her chart, but she does have that Leo Venus, that Leo Mars. Venus and Mars are the cosmic lovers. So Venus is what you're attracted to, it's your values. And Mars is what you're sexually attracted to. It's your passion. It's how you move in life. It's your desires. So although BRITNEY doesn't have this air in her chart, she's very attractive to people who are very charismatic, people who are very confident and fiery. So I really think that BRITNEY actually likes this quality within AJ. They both have the same Mars sign. They're both Leo Mars. And this right there, strong physical, strong sexual connection. They have similar drives. How they assert themselves is very similar. Off rip, like BRITNEY heavily attracted to AJ, and vice versa. The sexual connection, I felt it. Not even in the show. I felt it in the previews of the show. Like, you could just tell these people are very sexually attracted to each other. The sexual connection is there. And even when AJ said her celebrity crush is Tiana Taylor, like, hello. Anytime I saw AJ talking to another girl, I was like,
just go be with BRITNEY. Like, honestly, like, that's it, girl.
She seemed like a really big flirt. at the beginning of this season, but that AJ has a Scorpio Venus, man, like an Aries moon with Libra placements. If AJ did not want to be in this relationship, she wouldn't. Okay, Aries moons are very on to the next. But that Scorpio Venus with that Aries moon, like she views BRITNEY as a ride or die till death do us part. Okay,
you will never leave me. I will never leave you, and I will find you in every lifetime after this.
because 5 years together and lesbian years, that is like 20. Okay. That's a very long time. So I could understand why we were maybe brought on this show. Honestly, I felt like it was for exposure. So I think they play their cards right. Because as soon as AJ was in her trial marriage, that flirty facade completely, like, it was like a switch up like that. Like this girl, I thought this girl was going to be problematic. I thought she was going to be a mess. I thought she was going to like hook up with someone, break BRITNEY's heart. That trial marriage, it was almost like she's like, oh, the act is over. Like the finding my trial wife is now over. I'm in this trial marriage. I'm just going to let it rock for three weeks. I'm still seeing BRITNEY on the side because they were still seeing each other throughout the experiment. I'm really not gonna knock it. BRITNEY's also hot, okay? She is a good-looking woman. Give her the screen time. I was not upset about it, okay? And AJ's entertaining. AJ was entertaining off rip, and the more that I got to know AJ, the more that I liked how much of a listening ear she was, and she was just really always there for people. So I really did like that quality. Between AJ and BRITNEY, they don't really have sun-moon synastry, which I typically love in long-term relationships. Sun-moon synastry, which means that their suns harmoniously go together or their moons harmoniously go together or vice versa. They don't. AJ has an air sun with a fire moon, and BRITNEY has a earth sun with a water moon. BRITNEY moves in a more stable, emotional, hardworking type of way, and AJ's a little bit more flighty, a little bit more outgoing, fiery. But I will say what's very similar about their moon signs is AJ having an Aries moon and BRITNEY having a Scorpio moon. Both the moons are ruled by the planet Mars, which means that they move very, very passionately, and they're very passionate lovers. So there's a certain type of intensity with how they both interpret emotions and how they are emotionally, because the moon sign is who you are emotionally. It's how you absorb emotions and give emotions. So there's this underlining understanding that both are very passionate. Aries is more outwardly passionate, and Scorpio is more internally passionate. Another plus side is BRITNEY having a Scorpio moon and AJ having a Scorpio Venus. I love looking at Venus sign, the Venus sign and the moon sign and their synastry with each other in compatibility synastry readings. Because the moon sign is who you are emotionally, and the Venus sign is your values. It's what you're attracted to. It's what you like in relationships. It's who you are in a relationship. BRITNEY definitely feels very comforted by AJ and AJ's love. I think they bring a lot of comfort to each other, and they lift each other up. And vice versa, AJ's moon, Aries moon, is trined BRITNEY's Leo Venus. Trine is a harmonious aspect. So there's mutual aspects happening between the moon and the Venus sign between the two. So although they don't have moon sun sign synastry, it makes up because they have moon Venus sign synastry. They definitely feel very comforted by each other. Placements about their synastry that I don't like. AJ's Leo Mars is conjunct BRITNEY's Leo Venus. Now, this is a love-hate type of synastry aspect because it brings a lot of passion, which is very important to these two people having both moon signs that are ruled by Mars. But this is a type of aspect that when it's good, it's great. And when it's bad, it's really terrible. They can easily trigger each other, can bring a lot of like tension, and passion can easily turn angry like this, especially with AJ's Venus sign having a Scorpio Venus. So the thing with people who have Scorpio Venuses, they are addicted to this kind of power dynamic in relationships, and they subconsciously need to have more power than their partners, which we kind of saw. AJ felt really insecure that BRITNEY was doing good for her, and if not surpassing her on a lot of milestones in life. Power control that Scorpio Venus possesses really got triggered, and this is just something that Scorpio Venus people need to work on, period, because Just because your partner is doing good in life doesn't mean that they're going to leave you, or doesn't mean that they look down upon you. There's this fear of being looked down upon. There's this need to have power in the relationship. AJ easily gets triggered over BRITNEY about, because there's this sense of needing constant reassurance and adoration from BRITNEY. And she feels like that if BRITNEY is focusing on all these other things, there's a potential that BRITNEY's going to surpass her and leave her in the dust. So a cure for that is just constant reassurance and just a lot of communication on BRITNEY's side of that. But, you know, it's 50-50 both ways. BRITNEY can reassure her all she wants, but AJ also needs to know and comfort herself, soothe herself, and know that my partner doing good does not equate to me doing bad or me getting left. So that is the constant, like with the square. A square in astrology is a point of tension, but it's a point of growing together and becoming a stronger couple. So it's something that can break a couple, or it's something that can really strengthen a couple. And this is, as we see in the show, was a hurdle to get past. The good thing is BRITNEY does have a Leo Venus and a Leo Mars. So as long as the communication is there, you know, she really does put AJ on a pedestal. She really looks up to AJ. That the admiration is there. As long as the communication is there, I think this is something that they could get past. Another downside, harsh aspect in their relationship is they have Sun opposite Saturn both ways. So AJ's Sun opposes BRITNEY's Saturn, and BRITNEY's Sun opposes AJ's Saturn. So a couple things with this. Attraction to each other is off rip, and there is heavy potential for this to be a very mature and stable relationship, and a relationship where they both help each other level up. Saturn is like that tough love parent. It's like that parent who is strict but just wants you to mature and be successful. The opposition is a tense aspect between the two planets' energies. They mirror each other, this tough love type of energy. They entered each other's lives and they were like, you need to mature, you need to grow up. And it can be triggering if one of them gets too serious about this or too restrictive. It can feel suffocating, but as long as they are on the same page of building like a legacy and an empire together, the triggering between each other here is not to put each other down, it's to elevate each other. So as long as the communication isn't toxic, which I don't know, BRITNEY has a Virgo Sun, Virgo Mercury. Sometimes the communication might be off-putting. Virgo Suns, Virgo Mercuries, they have that way of being nitpicky and naggy and trying to build their partner up. They put them down unintentionally. So I don't know if that happens behind closed doors and it really makes AJ insecure. But as long as they know like this is for the betterment of us, is really good for long-term commitment. Having an opposition is a constant need to find balance. So this is just something that they're constantly going to have to get past. They're constantly going to want to elevate each other. As long as it doesn't get too serious or too restrictive, I think that it is something that is able to work past, but it's something that they both mirror back to each other. AJ both having an air sun and an air Mercury. It's very romantic, very flirty, very social. BRITNEY having an earth sun and an earth Mercury, a little bit more reserved, more focused, more serious. So this could be like also a little bit of a downside of their relationship, like just who they are at a core and how they communicate is super, super different. But like what I said earlier in the video, BRITNEY does have a Leo Venus and a Leo Mars. So she is very attracted to the outgoingness and the extrovertedness that AJ does have. So I think that is like the savior of this. There's obviously a lot of sexual, physical attraction here. There's a lot of comfort here, but having very different Sun and Mercury signs could be very hard. In the long term, it's almost like you guys just don't understand how each other's minds work. A little bit of a downside, AJ's Aries moon conjunct BRITNEY's Aries Saturn. So this brings a serious and committed relationship 100%. Saturn in synastry isn't always bad. Like you actually need Saturn in synastry to kind of make it long-term and stable. But with Saturn, there's just a lot of obstacles and hurdles to get past. Maybe BRITNEY can be a little bit too serious and AJ kind of looks at BRITNEY BRITNEY like a parent more so than a partner, or BRITNEY kind of treats AJ like a child. This can also bring a lot of emotional distance and blockages, like almost AJ or BRITNEY can't fully emotionally be vulnerable to each other, or there's going to be time periods in their relationship where they are very emotionally distant and they have to get over that hump. There's some type of like blockage here where they feel like each other aren't hearing each other or understanding each other, because most likely BRITNEY will be almost looking down upon AJ. But there is a lot of dependency issues here, like codependent and attachment issues, father-child type of relationship. And, you know, a child is going to be very dependent on their parents. They heavily depend on each other. They're very attached to each other. And this is good for long-term commitment, but it's bad if you stay in a situation that isn't good for you just because you're attached to each other. All right, now let's bring up AJ and MARITA. It was strictly just fun. This relationship was nothing serious. MARITA is a Pisces, and I literally saw her Pisces self just completely get delusional. I do feel bad that she was played a little bit, but her Pisces self was not able to read in between those lines, man. She thought that AJ, you know, could be the romantic factor that she's been looking for, and she just kind of created that fantasy in her head and kind of ran with it and didn't realize, like, you know, I just met this person a couple days ago, you know, and this person is in a whole relationship and has been for 5 years. So it was a little bit delusional. And then when I saw like the synastry chart between them, I literally saw that this was nothing but just fun. Strictly just a Libra being flirty, like straight up. No really good synastry, no sexual compatibility. They had no sun moon compatibility. MARITA is a Virgo moon. BRITNEY has a Virgo sun. AJ seems to like her Virgos. She probably likes earth placements because AJ doesn't have any earth in her chart. So she probably likes a mature woman or someone who is a stable figure in her life. But the only really thing that I did like about their synastry was AJ's Aries moon was conjunct MARITA's Aries Mercury. They definitely have great conversations. Like, that mental connection was probably there, but I really think that's all that it was. AJ probably found a lot of comfort in the conversations that MARITA was having with her and vice versa. And MARITA also has an Aquarius Venus, so she's easily stimulated by someone who can hold a conversation, someone who's different. Every Aquarius Venus person I know like dates someone outside of their culture, or likes dating people outside of their culture, or just like someone who is really outwardly different than them. Like, you're intriguing to me. Aquarius Venus likes to be intrigued. So I think MARITA was just very intrigued by AJ. And then AJ has a lot of air and fire in her chart. MARITA also has a good amount of air and fire in her chart. So with that attraction on top of MARITA being a Pisces, like, just the Pisces delusion fed the attraction, the initial attraction that was there, and maybe thought that this was something. On MARITA's side, she really thought it was very real. On AJ's side, she was just like, this is a nice conversation. I'm just having some nice conversation. I don't know about you. Now, with AJ and Marie, this was another thing that I was like, I do not see the attraction here. Like, I don't get it. And I really feel like the only reason that AJ chose Marie was because Mel was flirting up on BRITNEY a little bit, and I feel like AJ wanted to get her lick back and is like, you're gonna flirt with my girl, I'm gonna make your girl my trial wife. And Marie is also a Virgo, so AJ likes her Virgo woman. She likes that stability. She likes that mature type of woman. She likes a hardworking woman as well. She just needs to get past the insecurity of a hardworking woman equals someone that's eventually going to leave me or look down upon me. Let's get past that trauma. That needs to be calmed down. That's like a downside to Scorpio Venus that I don't like. In a relationship, this isn't a power dynamic. We are equals, especially in a woman loving woman relationship. Like, being equals is very much appreciated. That is definitely something for her to work on. So AJ and Marie, they both have the same Mercury sign. They both have Libra Mercury. So this was another relationship where the conversations were probably just flowed very easily. When two people have the same Mercury sign, conversations just flow like no other. Like, you guys just get how you mentally are and how you communicate. You communicate very similarly. You probably have the same sense of humor. So that was probably something that AJ really liked about Marie and was like, okay, you could be my trial wife. Like, this could be a good time together. Like, I could actually have nice conversations with you. Another thing that I liked about their synastry was AJ's Scorpio Venus made a trine, which is a harmonious aspect, to Marie's Cancer Venus. So to me, this right here, both water Venuses, they both have very similar love languages. It was giving BFF. There was no physical spark here, just comfort and friendship. Let's get into Mel and Marie. Okay. Mel has a Taurus stellium, and she looked like it. Like, this girl moves so slowly. Like, even how she blinked was so slowly. Like, she is the ultimate Taurus. Taurus moves so slow. She has a Taurus sun, a Taurus moon, a Taurus Mercury, a Gemini Venus, and a Taurus Mars. Scary. Marie is a Virgo sun, Pisces moon, Sagittarius rising. I wish we had a rising sign for Mel, but we don't. Libra Mercury, Cancer Venus, Cancer Mars. Taurus and a Cancer in a relationship. They own a food truck together. Of course, the foundation of their love is on food. A lot of Taurus Cancer couples that I know, the foundation of their relationship is their love for food, bonding over food, cooking for each other. Food is just the love language. So this was very stereotypical astrology. Lesbian astrology. Acts of service and cooking and providing for each other was probably something that they were both on the same page about, and was probably both very attractive to each other about that. Both earth signs, so that need for security, stability, that hardworking nature in each other, they were on the same page with that. Marie has a Cancer Venus, a Cancer Mars. So what she's attracted to is a very stable partner, someone who is protective of her, someone who is a provider. They can create a legacy together, someone who creates a very warm, welcoming home, someone who cooks for her and she can cook for them. And Mel brought that to the table. Mel also has a Taurus Mars with that Taurus stellium. Like, Marie probably just completely thought that she was the one, like, just very heavily attracted to just who Mel is as a person. Taurus and Cancer together, I love that synastry. They go so well together. Marie's Cancer Venus, sextile Mel's Taurus Mars. Marie, like what I said, was definitely very attractive to Mel's work ethic and, sexually attracted to her as well. Their Mars sextile each other, which is a harmonious aspect. So I definitely do feel like the sexual connection was there. The sexual energy between each other, they flow. And what motivates them in life is very similar. But I do think that their values clashed, and we'll get into that. Also, another thing that shows for a long-lasting and a long-term relationship, Mel's Venus sign, which is, the planet of relationships, is in Marie's 7th house of long-term committed relationships. Usually in a lot of marriages and long-term relationships, there's some type of 7th house synastry. Their Venus signs are extremely different, and you kind of you saw it. Like, their values, how they maneuver in relationships, very different. Understanding each other, there was like a lack of understanding there. Mel has a Gemini Venus, Marie has a Cancer Venus. This is just completely different. Mel needs a lot more freedom. Marie, having a Cancer Venus, she definitely prioritizes a little bit more traditional views. She's a little bit more low-key, could be a little bit more of a homebody. She doesn't need to be out and about and kind of quench the thirst of social connection like Mel does. I definitely saw that Mel was bored. Like, Mel was over this relationship. And like the typical Taurus that she is, she got comfortable and didn't want to leave the relationship. But this is the downside with Taurus. Taurus will be miserable in a relationship, but will not leave the relationship because they're so comfortable. Because getting to know another person is having to move outside your comfort zone. And a Taurus rather be in a miserable relationship where they know they're getting fed. They know they have someone who knows them for years. They know that this is comfortable. They know that this is their house, instead of doing what's best for them and their partner and leaving the relationship and exploring what is actually right for them. Mel knew that the relationship has expired, and unfortunately Marie has a Pisces moon, a little bit delusional, Cancer Venus. These people are a combination delusional in love, like rose-colored glasses. You are seeing what you want to see at that point. Like, you are giving every benefit of the doubt. You're giving every single chance for this person to change, even though this person is literally right in front of your face, showing you and telling you that they don't really fuck with you. Like, they don't like you. Like, just because a person is in your life and living in the same house as you, working at the same job as you, does not mean that they love you. Like, the actions and Mel's energy just showed me the whole time that she did not like Marie anymore, let alone love her. She literally did not like her anymore as a person. Like, that shit was... I felt it through the screen. I was like, this girl is bored. And I saw that she has a Gemini Venus. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, she's bored. She's not being stimulated. She needs more fun, more freedom, more spice in her relationship. Even though Mel does crave stability, that Gemini Venus is very contradicting. Like, she needs fun. So yeah, let's have a stable business together. Let's have a stable home together. I like a stable person, but let's plan dates. Let's do date night every single week and go to a different place. Explore. Let's be explorative. Let's explore sexually, you know? Versus Marie is a little bit more like, I'm chill with doing this every single day. Like, I thought you were too. Like, I actually want to get married. I want to buy a house. I want to start a family. Mercury signs are very different too. Mel has a Taurus Mercury. Marie has a Libra Mercury. Like, just communicate very, very differently. Mel probably takes a little bit more of a while to communicate. Like, she'll communicate when she wants to, and you can't push a Taurus Venus to talk about something that they're not ready to talk about or they don't want to talk about. Versus Marie is like, communication is very important, and she could be ready to talk about things right away and just wanting to clear the air, and having harmonious conversations is very important too. Like, Marie doesn't do well with if you're coming at me and you're fighting. She's just going to be extremely defensive, especially she has that Cancer Mars. She's going to be completely defensive of herself. She's going to shut down. You really need to approach Marie with a very mature attitude. And I feel like Mel is just very stubborn, and she's just like, I'm going to communicate how I want to communicate. And I think that causes Marie to completely shut down and not feel understood. The communication was definitely, I feel like, not good here. I think at one point in time, it was definitely mentally stimulating for Mel, but I think over time the spark just went out and it was very noticeable. I think Mel was just being the toxic side of Taurus, where she stayed in a relationship just because she was comfortable. I wouldn't be surprised if she was out there cheating on her. She has that Gemini Venus, and this isn't a Gemini Venus hate train. I also have a Gemini Venus, but the reason that I've broken up with people in relationships is because, if I'm bored, like, I want attention from other people. So if I feel like I'm going to cheat, like, bye. I think Mel wanted her cake and she wanted to eat it too. And this is a recipe for, I will stay in a situation that I'm comfortable in, but probably cheat on you or probably look elsewhere. I hope that's not true, but that she seems to have the very toxic sides of Taurus and Gemini Venus. So another thing that I don't like about the relationship, Mel's Gemini Venus squares, which makes a tense aspect with Marie's Pisces moon. Square shows an energetic pull between the two, but over time it brings out a lot of obstacles and frustration. So the thing with this is Marie definitely triggered a lot of past wounds within Mel, and I think vice versa as time went on as well. This could cause them to not be able to feel like they can be vulnerable with one another, and it really forces each other to work on those past wounds. The obstacles with a Venus square moon aspect and synastry is needing to heal your past self for this relationship to work. And you definitely saw on Mel's side that she was bringing a lot of past trauma into this relationship that she was not willing to heal and work on for this relationship. And I thought that was a really big downfall of this. Marie's Cancer, Venus, and Mars is in opposition to Mel's Capricorn, Jupiter. So basically, like what I said, their values, who they philosophically are, completely different, at odds to each other. But also Marie has this in her own birth chart as well. So this is something that she could be struggling with as well. Where she is trying to expand, because your Jupiter is in your chart is where you try to expand and learn more. That odds to what she values in a relationship and the motivations for her life. So she's constantly needing to find that balance between her own self. Value these things, and these are things that are motivators for me, but this is philosophically what I believe in. So this is something that she needs to balance in her own life. Mel definitely makes her realize that within herself, and then some triggers their relationship. Now let's talk about Mel and DAYNA's relationship. So This relationship was attraction, and that's it. Like, literally, I see it in the astrology. Attraction was extremely heavy. Obviously, we saw that in the show. As they actually have a lot of good synastry, but the synastry that's good is very sexual, physical, comforting. The values align, but who they are as people, how they communicate, and who they are emotionally, and their family values, extremely, extremely different. So this is why I was like, this was, yeah, of course it was just attraction and a trauma bond. Mel's Gemini Venus, definitely attracted to DAYNA's Gemini stellium. So DAYNA has a Gemini sun. She is a Libra moon, Gemini Mercury, Taurus Venus, Gemini Mars, and she's a Leo rising. So Mel has a Gemini Venus. DAYNA has a lot of Gemini placements. That's going to make Mel extremely attracted to DAYNA, and vice versa. DAYNA has a Taurus Venus. Mel has a Taurus stellium. She's very attracted to just who Mel is as a person. You know, DAYNA having a Gemini Mars and Mel having a Gemini Venus, sexual attraction. She's very sexually attracted to DAYNA. DAYNA being a Leo rising and Mel having a Taurus stellium, all of those Taurus placements were in DAYNA's 10th house. You have 10th house synastry. You tend to really look up to these people and you place them on a pedestal. So DAYNA was definitely looked up to Mel, like that admiration that you give a celebrity. That's 10th house synastry. So there was a lot of admiration there, a lot of being intrigued and attraction to one another. Like what I said, how they absorb emotions, who they are emotionally, their subconscious needs, how they communicate, very different. Mel with that Taurus stellium, she needs time, patience, comfort, like just calm, cool, collected in a partner. And DAYNA is not that. DAYNA needs constant stimulation, talking things out, constant reassurance, especially through convos. It was fun while it lasted. DAYNA is definitely a little bit more flirty and childlike on the daily, and Mel overall is just going to be more focused on her work and is going to be a little bit more serious. I think it was a breath of fresh air while it lasted, and that's because it was short term. Mel with that Gemini Venus, like, give it a month and they're on to the next crush. Like, the Gemini Venus, they do well with short-term partnership, and I think that's why it went really well. Mel wasn't focused on work. In the real world, this was not going to work. Mel is more of a serious person, not wanting to commit, doesn't value marriage. And DAYNA is not. She needs a little bit more passion, a little bit more childlike energy. So this was a recipe for a lot of misunderstanding in the future, and it was definitely not going to be long term. But they have their Venus trine Mars both ways, which is really, really nice in synastry, and the physical attraction was there. The sexual attraction was there. And they feel inspired by each other too. So that's another thing with that. That's a really nice placement. I could see why there was such a spark at first. They both have those Gemini placements. If Geminis feel intrigued by something, like, they need to explore it. They're like that child energy, explore what they're experiencing, what's in front of them, what's on their mind. So Mel's Gemini Venus touching DAYNA's and Gemini Mercury. So very intellectually attracted to each other too. They share similar interests, and this goes both ways. The conversations were probably good too. They could probably talk for hours and hours and hours, which is very important for people who have Gemini placements. I don't see this being a long-lasting relationship in the real world. I see it being a summer fling. Like, this is the synastry, and there is a lot of good synastry here, but there was just nothing that was really like, yeah, this could be long-lasting. This is like a quick summer fling that kind of changes your perspective on relationships and makes you realize, like, what you actually like and need from a person. Let's get to DAYNA and MAGAN. So let's reiterate, DAYNA has a Gemini sun, Libra moon, Leo rising, Gemini Mercury, Taurus Venus, Gemini Mars. MAGAN has a Taurus sun, so DAYNA loves her Tauruses. Like what I said, she's very attracted to Taurus placements. Gemini moon, Gemini rising, Taurus Mercury, Gemini Venus, Aries Mars. I actually like their synastry. And this is going to be controversial because of how they were, and I can see why they're very attracted to each other. So good things about their synastries. Their Venus touch each other's suns both ways. There's extreme attraction here to who each other are as a person, who they consciously are, their ego, their identity. They're very attracted to each other. No doubt about that. DAYNA's Gemini stellium is in Megan's first house. DAYNA is Megan's light of her life. Like, this is someone that wants to make her worlds, but it can easily be very triggering. They definitely put a mirror to each other, because who DAYNA is as a person is how Megan views the world and how she is emotionally. There's a lot of, mirroring each other, the light of my life, but there's a sense of holding a mirror, because it's like, I am you and you are me. But they also have sun moon synastry. I love in relationships, long-term relationships, I love sun moon synastry. There's just a sense of getting each other, a sense of understanding each other. Just some things don't have to be said out loud. You just get me. Part of the first house stellium that DAYNA has in Megan's first house is she has her Gemini Mars in Megan's first house, and this can bring a lot of passion, but it can bring a lot of aggression too. So she can definitely bring a lot of like anger issues into Megan's life, a lot of temper tantrums, a lot of fights, a lot of just easily getting triggered with each other. So that is definitely something to look out for. Air, fire, and earth, I feel like they're both very extroverted introverts. I feel like they like that about each other. Like, they can both go out and have a fun time, but come home and cuddle. They'll have days of having fun date nights, but then they need to come home and cuddle on the couch for days at a time too. Like, they both are on the same wavelength with that. Their moon signs trine each other too. They both have air moons, so who they are emotionally are very similar. They both get it. Like, needing to talk things out is very, very important. And talking things out, they probably easily can. Like, let's just have a really solid, long 5-hour conversation about this, and we're good afterwards. But like what I said, they have a lot of air in both of their charts, so intellectualizing things is probably going to be a downfall of their relationship, instead of really tapping into their emotional side, because neither of them have that water in their chart. There's no balance there. There's no being able to tap into a deeper sense of self, a deeper sense of like spiritual and emotional sense of self that might be lacking. Megan's Taurus placements in DAYNA's 10th house. So this is another thing that, DAYNA also looks up to Megan to, in adoration, like you would to a famous person, because she loves her Taurus placements. What can I say? I'm a Scorpio rising, and I love my Leo placements. Leo in my 10th house. Like, yes, I do put Leos on a pedestal. I do love my Leo placements. And then DAYNA's Taurus Venus is in Megan's 12th house. So this was another thing. They have 12th house synastry. So this is a deep connection that you just can't understand unless you experience 12th house synastry. It's also a very karmic connection as well. This is a very karmic relationship. And not saying that that's good or bad. It's just they were meant to meet each other, and they were meant to change each other's lives. Definitely a karmic relationship, but with 12th house synastry, it can bring attachment issues, like being very attached to each other. And that can be a reason that, they don't leave, that they stay with each other, trauma bonded with each other. So a couple things I don't like about their relationship. DAYNA's moon is squaring Megan's Saturn. So, aspects to the Saturn does bring long-term in relationships, but they need to get through a lot of obstacles. That square is no joke. I think DAYNA really likes Megan's maturity, but Megan Saturn is going to force DAYNA to grow up. Megan is a very calm, cool, and collected. It's like that typical Taurus. It's going to come into your life and like stabilize you a little bit. And I think that is exactly what DAYNA needed. But it works well if you kind of surrender to that and know that Megan is forcing you to mature, not out of scrutiny, but out of love and just wanting better for you. This is really good, if it's from good intentions, but it can be bad if, Megan Saturn is like kind of looking down upon her, like you're a kid type of thing. This relationship can give almost like a parent-child relationship instead of a partnership. So that is an obstacle to get past. Gemini Venus conjunct DAYNA's Gemini Mars, passionate but angry. I do think this couple do get into a good amount of fights. I can definitely see that. Having extremely different Venus signs is always an obstacle to get past. DAYNA has a Taurus Venus and Megan has an air Gemini Venus. So what they value and crave in a relationship is just very, very different. But their saving grace is DAYNA does have that Gemini stellium and Megan does have Taurus placements. So there is a sense of meeting in the middle there and understanding each other. There just needs to, like, a lot of communication and patience with each other. Having very different Venus signs brings a lot of miscommunication, but they do have a lot of good synastry that does kind of override that. So Megan and Haley, bro, when I saw their birth charts, I was like, of course they love each other. They have the same exact chart. Yo, this was giving twin flame. Twin flame. They have the same chart, bro. They're both Taurus suns, Gemini moons, Gemini Venus, Aries, Mars. They just have different Mercury signs and different rising signs. And what's different in Haley's chart is what DAYNA has. So I was like, oh, yeah, Megan loves you, Haley, because you are a mirror of a mixture of her and DAYNA is. I don't know. It's very lesbian. It's very lesbian. Finding attraction in someone who's like you, or finding attraction in someone who's like your ex-girlfriend. It's just giving lesbian. And Megan found the perfect balance. She found someone who is her and her ex-girlfriend in a singular person. And that's why you thought this was your soulmate. That's why you thought this was the one. That's why you were willing to risk it all, baby. Yeah, they felt very comfortable because they have so many of the same placements. Like, let's just keep it a buck. That's why they got each other, because I am you, you are me. Who they are as a person is the same. How they absorb emotions are the same. How they love, what they value, who they are in a relationship is the same. The sexual chemistry is the same. That's why. Oh, and when I saw that they had Aries Mars too, I'm like, of course they were gonna have sex with each other. Like, these people could not keep their hands off each other. That the mental connection was there, the physical attraction was there. They have Aries Mars, of course they're gonna fuck. Like, having the same Mars signs, like, very, very physically and sexually attracted to each other. When you have the same Mars sign as someone, the sexual chemistry that is there is just through the roof. And both of them having Gemini moons and Gemini Venuses, it just needed to be explored. There was no way they were gonna live with each other and not explore that connection. A downside to their synastry is Haley's Saturn lays in Megan's 10th house of professional life and public image. So Haley was not good for Megan's public image. Saturn in your 10th house synastry can, the Saturn person can either force the house person to grow up, or can be bad for their reputation or their professional life, or just bring a lot of seriousness and maturity to their professional life, who they are professionally. If this went long term, Haley will force Megan to elevate her life 100%, but it could cause just a bad reputation in the long term. And Megan's Gemini stellium squares Haley's Saturn brings an unhealthy attachment and obstacle. The long-term commitment is possible, but the square brings there will be obstacles. So any square to Saturn shows an unhealthy attachment because kind of like what I said, relate to it as almost a parent-child dynamic. The child needs the parent to survive. Even if the parent is treating the child like shit, the child will stay there. There is a type of attachment there. So just kind of that's how I think of square Saturn synastry. I did like their relationship. I thought it was really nice. It was really nice that they understood each other, but I really don't know if this had legs to stand on long term. I want to say yeah, because they are literally the same person. But that's why the spark was there, man. I would have really loved to see them see this through, because I really am curious to know if this would have been a long-term relationship. But yeah, it's almost like dating yourself. So 50% of that had chances of going really well, and 50% of that had chances of going really bad, because they were eventually just going to put a mirror up to each other's faces. But I really liked seeing Haley and Megan just make each other feel so understood. And I feel like getting that experience from another woman is exactly what they both needed, because I feel like they were too engulfed with just what they're used to by their partners, and their Gemini Venuses need to see out other options to kind of make sure that what they're in right now is truly what they want to be in. So I think both their Gemini Venus selves kind of needed that. That was twin flame energy. They both needed to be in each other's lives and enter each other's lives, transform each other. So lesbian. They were together for only 3 weeks and they transformed each other within those 3 weeks. And that's a twin flame type of relationship. They get together, transform each other, and then they go their completely other ways. And I think we saw that in this show. Even though we were rooting for you guys, everyone was rooting for you guys. We just really like the maturity between the two of you, the communication, the comfort, like that is what I want in a relationship. So thank you for showing us that. Now, Haley and Pilar, I'm not gonna lie, their synastry is really not my favorite. Not my favorite. Haley, let's reiterate, she has a Taurus sun, Gemini moon, Leo rising, Gemini Mercury, Gemini Venus, Aries Mars. Pilar has a Virgo Sun, Aries Moon, Taurus Rising, Libra, Mercury, Scorpio, Venus, Cancer, Mars. Pilar is a Taurus Rising. Haley is a Taurus Sun. So attraction is there. First house synastry is this person will be the light of your life, but this person also brings a mirror to your face. It can bring a lot of jealousy into a relationship as well, and stubbornness of not wanting to change, especially in a fixed sign. That is a little bit of a downside, but perks of their relationship is their suns trine each other, making a harmonious aspect. Their moons make a harmonious aspect together. Their Mercuries make a harmonious aspect together. So who they are consciously, subconsciously, who they are emotionally, how they communicate, they just understand each other, flows very harmoniously together. But how they view the world and their motivations for life are at odds. They square each other. And what they value in relationships and who they are in relationships, there's no aspects there either. And honestly, I don't really see that much of a heavy like physical sexual connection between them either with their synastry. I think it's all like comfort, bestie, affection, trauma bonds. I think a lot of it is comfort. Like what they said, they're both each other's first girlfriend. They have 10 years of relationship experience backing them up. I think they are all that each other knows, and I think it just feels more comfortable they're doing the typical Taurus things. I'm going to stay in this because I'm comfortable instead of exploring the unknown, which is going to make me very uncomfortable. They were meant to meet each other. They have 12th house synastry as well. But like what I said, 12th house synastry runs super, super deep. It's really karmic. Sometimes it causes trauma bonds, and that's why people stay together. The bond is so emotionally deep that you don't understand it unless you're in it. Haley being a Leo rising, Pilar has Virgo placements in her 12th house. Pilar being a Taurus rising, Haley has her Aries Mars in her 12th house. So there's 12th house synastry going both ways. The plus side to 12th house synastry too is it's so spiritually connected, and with 12th house synastry, they see a side of each other and they see the potential in each other. And because the 12th house synastry goes both ways, it's like they just want to bring out the potential in one another. And if 12th house synastry feels so good because it almost feels like that person is the only person who like sees that side of you and that potential. And it's good when you guys want to grow with each other. It's bad if it's just trauma bonded. Pilar has her Taurus rising in Haley's 4th house of home. So with 4th house synastry as well, Haley feels like home to Pilar. And that could be another reason that it's hard to let go of this relationship as well, because like we know, Pilar doesn't have her own family, so Haley is her family. And this is a very comforting synastry. It just feels like home. It's very comfortable. It's nice to create a family together as well. Not my favorite synastry, but not the worst. I can see why they're together, but I also feel like they're together because they're just comfortable with each other and they don't really know better. Pilar and Kyle. So Pilar, let's reiterate, Virgo Sun, Aries Moon, Taurus Rising, Libra Mercury, Scorpio Venus, Cancer Mars. Kyle has a Leo Sun, Aquarius Moon, Sagittarius Rising, Cancer Mercury, Cancer Venus, Virgo Mars. So I don't really like this synastry. I don't think it's long lasting. I think there was an initial spark and that was that. We literally saw that. They both have air and fire in their charts, and I really feel like this passion and curiosity got to the best of them, and that was literally the spark. Also could be like sexual attraction too, and they could have like a good sexual relationship, a good sex life, but I don't think they were able to explore that. They both have water Venuses, which is nice. They could have similar love languages. Kyle is a fire rising, so she's definitely intrigued by Pilar's Aries moon. I think Kyle is a little bit more of like an introverted person, but that fire rising, so they're very attracted to people with extroverted energy because it brings that fire, brings that passion out within them. So Pilar is just naturally very fiery. She's goofy. She's wants to have fun. So I think Kyle really liked that and was attracted to Pilar about that. Aquarius moon was like, ooh, I'm intrigued. Like, I want to get to know you. And I think also like Kyle is very attracted to Pilar's maturity. Like Kyle has a Cancer Venus. So it seems like they don't want the traditional things, but deep down, they do. They want that house. They want the family. They want the traditions together. They want that stability, that security, that feeling protected by their lover too. And I think Pilar brought that energy to the table. Kyle definitely liked the maturity and the stability that Pilar could have potentially brought to their future relationship. Pilar having that Cancer Mars, I think, was also attracted to Kyle's Cancer placements. But like what I said, that Venus Mars conjunction is either very passionate when it's good or when it's bad, it's terrible. It could lead to explosive fights, arguments, tension, frustration, not getting each other. And their Mercuries square each other too. So their communication, like, they don't really get each other mentally, but Kyle did like Pilar's maturity, because Kyle does need someone who is calmer, and that is like the plus side to a Libra Mercury. Like Pilar will bring a harmonious energy to a communication style. Like Pilar isn't going to address a situation in a scream match, cursing you out, calling you names type of manner, because Pilar doesn't believe that that's how you should communicate, even if she's feeling that within her. And Kyle really appreciated that, because obviously Kyle shared that how they grew up with sisters. You know, it wasn't like that. It was just like always a fight and them needing to always get defensive. So with the Cancer placements, like a Cancer Mercury and Cancer Venus, it's giving like your baby, like, and kind of coddle this person a little bit. And I think Pilar was willing to do that, but I don't think she's willing to do that long term. Like, you know, she definitely likes someone who's a little bit more can stand on business, like Haley. Kyle needs to be like coddled a little bit too much, and I don't think that was long-lasting quality within their relationship. Kyle and Bridget. So I do like their synastry. They have like really amazing sun-moon synastry, and I'm like, this is bestie long-term committed relationship type of energy. So Kyle has a Leo sun, Aquarius moon. Bridget has an Aquarius sun, Leo moon, Taurus rising, Aquarius Mercury, Capricorn Venus, Leo Mars. So like what I said, that sun moon synastry, I fucking love. Their Venus signs are opposites, which seems like it would be a non-favorable aspect. But I do like that opposition in a Venus sign. A Venus opposition as you're cut from the same cloth, but you're two different colors. Like the value system is very similar, but there has to be a constant need for communication or to completely satisfy each other. There is an underlying understanding, but there needs to be constant effort and communication. Overall, I think Bridget is just a little bit more fluid than Kyle is, although they are both very fluid people. Kyle's just a little bit more of a traditional person, and Bridget is really stubborn. Her chart is super fixed. She has all fixed signs except her Capricorn Venus, and it shows that the type of energy that Kyle brings to Bridget is a very mature energy, which I think Bridget is very attracted to, having that Capricorn Venus. Kyle's Saturn touches Bridget's sun. So this is definitely an energy where Kyle really is going to help Bridget mature and settle in her life. But Bridget, being the stubborn person that she is, she's super fixed. It is a little harder for someone like her who's very open-minded with that Aquarius Mercury, that Aquarius sun. She's like, don't tell me what I have to do on what type of timeline. I kind of want to move when I want to move. And why do we have to follow these traditional views? Like, you know, that's just not who I am. So, but their relationship is also very karmic. Kyle's Sagittarius rising falls in Bridget's 8th house, and 8th house synastry is also very deep, it's very karmic, it's very transforming. So this relationship is definitely very transforming as well. Mercury signs being very different. They communicate very differently. So although Bridget is very stubborn, I think she knows that the type of energy that she has to bring to Kyle is definitely way different than who she is. And the reason that this relationship works is because Bridget is actually willing to do that. And for someone who's super stubborn and super fixed like she is, the fact that she is willing to be a little bit more adjustable and flexible with Kyle shows that she really does value and love Kyle. I do like their synastry. I think it's very transforming, but there is just a lot of communication and patience that they have to hurdle over for this relationship to work. I feel like this synastry is 50-50. It could either be really good and really transforming or just really just not right for each other. Bridget and Ashley, this synastry, the spark, the energy between them, it was not giving. It was not giving anything. It was giving short term, and it shows in the synastry. Ashley has a Virgo Sun, Gemini Moon, Virgo Mercury, Leo Venus, Libra Mars. So Ashley's Sun and Mercury falls in Bridget's 5th house, which is fun. The 5th house is a very romantic, very social. It's a very fun house. So 5th house synastry is usually a fun type of dynamic and could be romantic and sexual, but it's usually short lasting, especially if there's no other synastry to really support it. Bridget's moon conjunct Ashley's Venus is a really nice synastry aspect that they have. I love moon Venus synastry in a couple. It's really nice and comforting and very affectionate too. I think Ashley likes Bridget's extrovertedness. I think Bridget brought a lot of fun to the table, and it seems like Bridget is bringing fun to this relationship, bringing fun to her relationship with Kyle. Like Bridget is just bringing the fun, bringing the energy to these people, and I think she likes that as well. Like Bridget likes being the spotlight, the center of attention, the fun, the extroverted partner in a partnership. I feel like she, as long as her partner values that about her and doesn't try to dim her light, I think she's okay with being like the outgoing and the like the loud one in the relationship, because Bridget has that Leo moon, so she wants to be the center of attention. She does not mind being the center of attention, and I think Ashley really likes that. I think Ashley is, she has that Virgo Sun, that Virgo Mercury, so she's a little bit more timid, a little bit more introverted, not going to be the loudest one in the room, but she has the air element, the fire in her chart. So she is very attracted to someone who is extroverted, who can kind of be her mouth, who can be fun, who does bring passion to the table. And I think that's another reason that Ashley was also attracted to MARITA. The Venus conjunct Mars synastry, there's a lot of Venus conjunct Mars synastry within these couples. Very passionate, but could also be aggressive, bring tension. Bridget's Sun touches Ashley's Saturn, so this kind of brings like a seriousness. Ashley just kind of forcing Bridget to mature, which we see that synastry with Bridget and Kyle. But the thing is, Bridget's willing to do that with Kyle because she loves Kyle, versus with Ashley, it was just bringing like a serious great cloud to the relationship. Like there was no other really good supporting aspects in their relationship that was really intriguing Bridget. It was just giving comfort, like that moon conjunct Venus was really the foundation of this synastry here. Again, they have very different communication styles, very different love languages. I just don't think this was long lasting. I think this is like a good summer love type of synastry, but not my favorite synastry overall. And we saw that on the screen too. They did not have a connection. Going into Ashley and MARITA, this synastry was the most tea of all the synastry. Like they are each other's mirrors. This was the ultimate twin flame synastry. They have so many oppositions in their chart, and to me that shows twin flame energy. And sometimes twin flames end up together and sometimes it just crashes and burns, and you guys are meant to be in each other's lives to completely make it go in a completely different direction. And usually when it goes in a different direction, it's because it crashes and burns. So let's reiterate. Ashley has a Virgo Sun. MARITA has a Pisces Sun. Opposite. Ashley has a Leo Venus. MARITA has an Aquarius Venus. Opposite. Ashley has a Libra Mars. MARITA has an Aries Mars. Opposite. Their moon signs square each other. Tension. They don't emotionally understand each other. Their Mercury signs. Ashley is in Virgo. MARITA is in fire. they don't get each other. This makes no type of, they definitely put a mirror to each other's faces. And when someone puts a mirror to your face, it shows a lot within you that you didn't know that was there. Like, I think they both showed each other's shadow sides, and they both mirrored back to each other their deepest fears. This relationship was obviously traumatic. You see it at their reunion, like this crashed and burned. More oppositions that they have. Ashley's Sun opposes Marita's Jupiter. Ashley's Jupiter opposes Marita's Mercury. Ashley's Mars opposes Marita's Saturn. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 oppositions that we know of, because we don't even know their rising signs. So this is the ultimate just twin flame type of synastry. Definitely meant to meet each other, but definitely not meant to last. Constantly misunderstanding each other. This relationship was really hard to sustain. They just both feel very misunderstood by each other. But I will say something good about the relationship was they have a sun-moon synastry, Ashley being a Virgo sun and Marita being a Virgo moon. So this is like nice, comforting energy, but it could also just be bestie energy. You just get me, which is nice initially, is very comforting. But if you're just riding on that, that's not enough to sustain a romantic relationship. And we definitely see that here, because they just completely are both refusing to understand each other. With a lot of oppositions in a chart, there is a constant need for balance, a constant need for communication in order to understand each other. And I feel like neither of them were willing to do that. Marita's Venus conjunct Ashley's Saturn. This brought a lot of seriousness to the relationship, had the potential of being long-term, which it was. Marita is a Pisces, she wants that romance, like what she says. And Ashley was just bringing like a gray cloud over Marita's fantasies. And that was very obvious in there. But Marita was also not willing to love Ashley in her love language. She was just loving Ashley in her own love language. And they were just riding on the bestie synastry. Nothing else in their chart was really, they don't even really have like a sexual connection either. The sexual chemistry is not there. The physical chemistry is not there. It's just like, you're my bestie. And another thing with the twin flame too, I saw this on TikTok, they look alike. Like someone put her face, Marita's face, over Ashley's like face and body, and they literally look alike. This is like a sign of twin flame energy. Also, Ashley lacks water in her chart, which is nice that Marita does have that Pisces. Marita definitely like helps soften Ashley up, make her feel more tapped in and in tune with her emotions. But I feel like Ashley was just not emotionally able to understand who Marita is at all, and vice versa. Oh my God, another thing, Marita's Aries Mercury popped out at that reunion. What she was saying to Ashley, just barking at her off rip out of anger, her Mercury and Mars, oh my God, popped out. Aries Mercury and Mars person is angry. Stay away. They will cut you with their words. Ugly. That was really ugly. But if we look at Marita and BRITNEY's, there was also a good amount of oppositions here too. So there was a lot that was mirroring each other, but the mirror here was actually BRITNEY mirroring what Marita likes. So that's the thing with oppositions. Like, it can either mirror your shadow side and your deepest, darkest fears, your subconscious side, or actually what you like. So you learn a lot about this mirror by learning what you actually like in a partner. So they also have sun moon synastry here as well. BRITNEY is a Virgo. Marita has that Virgo moon. So Marita does like her mature woman. So definitely BFF energy. Sun moon synastry is really good for long-term relationships, but you need that Venus Mars, or that moon Venus, that synastry to kind of help it make it more than a BFF. But that sun moon synastry, it's just an unspoken language. You just get each other. BRITNEY being like that Virgo, she was definitely mirroring Marita to what she wanted. And what Marita likes is romance through acts of service. Like, she is a Pisces sun, Virgo moon. That is the Pisces Virgo axis in a whole. Like, Pisces is the I love that romance. And the Virgo moon is I love like that acts of service, that us taking care of each other. And just like little things of BRITNEY, like cooking dinner for her and little things like that, Marita was over the moon for that. The Venus oppositions, what they like in relationships is very different. They both have Mars. Their Mars signs are trining each other, which is a harmonious aspect, which is usually nice nice in like a sexual and physical attraction relationship. Marita is just not her type. So although in a perfect world, like if I was to look at the synastry and not know what they look like, I would be like, ooh, that's nice Mars synastry for a sexual relationship. At the end of the day, you need like that chemistry outside of astrology, and that chemistry, they were never going to be anything. BRITNEY was not attracted to MARITA, and I don't think MARITA was attracted to BRITNEY either. But you know, MARITA wants that love, that romance, that lovey-dovey, but BRITNEY needs something like way deeper with that Scorpio moon. Like she needs depth, hard conversations. She needs till death do us part, not like that surface level lovey-dovey, give me a kiss on the forehead. Brittany's like, I want to wear your blood on a necklace with that Scorpio moon. You know, are you not going to be able to live without me? Are you going to find me in this lifetime and every other lifetime after us? You know, and Marita's like, I want a candlelit dinner. That would be so nice. And Brittany's just a little bit like she craves that purity, and I think Marita's just a little bit too childish. So it's just that mental stimulation, that mental connection, that physical attraction just was never going to be there. Yeah, guys, this was my astrology breakdown of the Ultimatum Queer Love. Let me know if you want to hear other ones. I was thinking about doing Love Island, but you know, I had to get up on here and talk about queer astrology first. I really enjoyed this episode, and I hope you guys did too. I will catch you in the next one.